So Baldur's Gate 3 has been out for a hot minute now, hasn't it? And a lot of you watching this have probably finished at least one or maybe even two playthroughs. You've sang ballads with the bards.
Words of mine will turn to ash. More witless creatures. More ear bleed.
Made friends you can trust with your life.
Maybe you just get lucky.
Shit. No, it's not what it looks like.
With them you fought the most fearsome foes.
Get out!
The squirrel lunges at your foot and bites it.
And experienced all of the love and loss that the good people over at Larian and Wizards of the Coast wrote into this game for us.
What the hell are you doing?
Ruined. Smash! Oh, smash you!
And now maybe you're looking for something to scratch that RPG itch. Or maybe Baldur's Gate 3 was your first RPG and you're looking for more games like that to play. I am Occam Black. This is my channel Occam's Greatsword, and in this video I'm going to be telling you about 3 fire RPGs you can play if you like Baldur's Gate 3. Without further ado, here's number 3. From the developer that brought us such amazing titles as Knights of the Old Republic and the Mass Effect trilogy comes Dragon Age Origins, a fantasy RPG that follows the adventures of the hero of Ferelden and his or her group of companions in their quest to defeat the Darkspawn, vile, twisted creatures corrupted by the Blight and led by an archdemon in the form of a dragon. Now, it needs to be said that there's a lot more to the story than that, which brings me to my favorite aspect of this game, which is that the decisions you make while creating a character, like race and gender and stuff like that, and class, will determine which one of 6 distinct opening stories you get to play. So, players who choose to play as, say, a female city elf will have a very different opening and tutorial section to those who choose to play as, say, a male human mage or a dwarven warrior. The only other game I've ever seen that's tried something like this would be Cyberpunk with its 3 distinct openings, but even those weren't as fleshed out as the ones in this game, and this came out in 2009. Another really cool thing about Dragon Age Origins is the way that combat works. See, in Baldur's Gate 3 you had to roll initiative to see who goes first in combat, but in Dragon Age you can pause the action at any time and issue orders to your companions. Or you can use the tactics options in the menu to set up automatic actions that your party members are going to take. Like, you can have a character use a health potion, but only if their health falls below a certain percentage. Or you can have, say, your warrior taunt surrounding enemies if they get surrounded by a set number of, enemies, to draw their aggro. As the name implies, Dragon Age Origins is the first in a series of games. And much like other BioWare games, decisions made in one game affect the world state in the sequels. So decisions made in Dragon Age Origins will affect the world state in Dragon Age 2, and decisions made in Dragon Age 2 will affect the world state in Dragon Age Inquisition. Though it needs to be said that unlike the Mass Effect trilogy, you won't be playing the same character in all 3 games, because they're set like years apart from each other. And I didn't know where to fit this into the script, but the romance options in this game, much like other BioWare games, chef's kiss. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Also, even as recently as the time when I'm writing this script, in January of 2024, there's still a very active modding community that has helped keep the game fresh. Because, yeah, this came out a while ago. On to number 2. If you made it this far in the video and you like to play mages, why don't you cast like and subscribe, huh? Up next, we have a game that subverts traditional fantasy RPG tropes in the best possible way. Shadowrun Hong Kong, the extended edition. See, where most fantasy RPGs have a medieval setting and have players engaging in conflict using swords and sorcery, Shadowrun Hong Kong is set in a cyberpunk dystopian version of Hong Kong, and sees players engaging in conflict using a variety of pistols, submachine guns, shotguns, grenades, adorable little killbots, as well as swords and sorcery. The plot follows the player character and their brother, Duncan Wu, after circumstances force them to become Shadowrunners, sort of underworld mercenaries, in the city of Hong Kong. These two are on a quest to find their adopted father, Raymond Black, no relation to yours truly. They're aided in this pursuit by their companions Isabel, Gobet, Rakta, and Daichu, and all of them work under a lovely woman by the name of Kindly Cheng. Combat in this game is turn-based, but unlike in Baldur's Gate 3, your team will always go first. You won't need to roll initiative. As I mentioned before, there's a lot of gunplay involved in this game, so it employs a sort of a cover system where the player and their party can, hide behind certain objects in the environment and fire from cover. Lots of, tactical gameplay involved. You're gonna love it. If you like tactics-based games, you'll love this. One little thing I feel I need to point out about this game is that there's no voice acting. So you, the player, are going to be doing a lot of reading. It helps that the game is very well written, with vivid descriptions of the various environments that you'll be walking into, and that these environments have a very, well thought out aesthetic that really sells the whole Hong Kong in a cyberpunk dystopia thing that I mentioned earlier. The musical score is also some of the best that I've ever had in a video game, and it really helps set the atmosphere of this game. Finally, we have Divinity Original Sin, the Enhanced Edition. This is the game on this list that's going to be the most similar to Baldur's Gate 3, seeing as it was made by the same people, Larian Studios. This game has you create 2 different characters who you'll be playing pretty much simultaneously because they'll almost always be in your party. In the character creator, you can decide what personality each of them has, and making them super different can lead to some interesting interactions because your characters will be talking to each other pretty often as you play this game. The plot follows your 2 created characters, Source Hunters, in what starts off as a simple murder investigation, but that gets pretty wild as the story progresses. Now, this is a game that does not hold your hand. You'll really have to put your detective hat on to solve this murder. Looking for clues, interrogating people, stuff like that. Playing this game after having played Baldur's Gate 3, you can tell that a lot of the ideas that went into the development of this game also went into BG3. Some of the ideas were built upon and others were scrapped entirely, like the rock, paper, scissors minigame that you play in this game to resolve certain conflicts that arise that require you to perform checks on things like reason and persuasion and intimidation, charm and stuff like that. So you won't be rolling dice here to perform such checks in conversations. I also like that the devs weren't afraid to laugh at themselves for their own limitations As I was recording footage for this video, I came across this little bit of dialogue that I thought was pretty funny.
Really? The greatest warriors in Rivellon can't cross a rope?
So, if you like Baldur's Gate 3, you're also gonna really like Divinity Original Sin and every other game on this list. This is all I have for you today. And if you like to play warriors in RPGs, grab a Warhammer, smash that subscribe button. You'd really be helping me out and helping this video get seen by more people. Also, tell me in the comments what are some of your favorite RPGs and if you've played anything else on this list. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Peace!